Hey guys, welcome to my show. Hope everybody's having a great evening. Let's get this party started. All right, guys. Well, it has been a whoa. I decided to play that. Not exactly sure why. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Learn as we go, right? It has been a very interesting week. Um, I was going to do a completely different show until Donald Trump came out and decided to change the rules of the game a little bit, as it were. I don't exactly understand why everyone always loses their mind whenever Donald Trump gets out and says something. I mean, one of the things that blew me away the entire time he was president was how on a 24-hour news cycle we could have, oh dear God, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 channels at the same time. Okay, keep in mind, 5 different news channels at the same time running a story on Donald Trump. I mean, there could have been like a drive-by shooting happening in the middle of LA and no one would have cared because Donald Trump ate a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. It was it was crazy the amount of attention they gave this man, and for not for lack of trying on his part. Let's make sure we make that clear. Donald Trump did everything he possibly could to try to get you know his following, his people, whatever you want to call it. Okay, he decided at a whatever point of his life that he was going to be as abrasive, as crass, and as rude as he possibly could. All right. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't like a lot of the things that Trump did, because I did, but I also didn't like some of the things he did. But I miss the memes and I miss the Twitter craziness. I miss the leftist tears crying whenever he would say something that would be non-PC and non-woke. I miss him calling people stupid. You know, I mean, there would be like this long argument of someone saying something, and he'd be like, "Well, you're just stupid." It's like, well, great. That'd be his only comeback. But I think you're stupid. Donald Trump, you will forever go down in the history as being the most popular president ever. No one ever in the history of being president has been more popular than this man, because he's equally hated and watched by probably the same amount of people on one side of the aisle and loved and watched by a completely different set of people on the other side. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I won't have a host with me tonight. Blair to Blair is focusing on a few things right now in his life, so he won't be joining us probably till the beginning of next year. So I will be running solo. I am actively looking for another co-host. For anybody out there that wants to do a co-host with some random guy that talks a bunch of bullshit, you are more than welcome to come out. But keep in mind, whenever Blair is ready to come back, he's always going to have an open seat next to me anytime he wants it. For everyone else, I hope everyone else is doing good. I hope everyone else is having a great day, and we are obviously live here. Let's get our first story up. I wanted to start tonight a little bit differently. Okay, we've had a couple questions asked to me lately. A couple things people were saying about men specifically asking me, what they should do as far as dating wise is concerned, and because not everybody can be an alpha. Not everybody can be 6 foot, 6'4". Not everyone has abs. All right. Not everyone has, a 6-figure income. By the time you get to above 6 foot and 6 figures, like I've told you before, you've already gotten rid of over 95% of the world's population. of men. And I'm talking about world's population. So I wanted to let you guys see a couple videos from Fresh and Fit to give you guys a perspective from someone else. I wanted you to see something because most people don't think about this stuff. Most people don't even entertain this concept. Okay. And I want you to kind of just, I guess, for the ladies out there that are going to watch this, I would like for you to, I guess, just kind of see it from a different perspective than what you have. Okay. And we'll just kind of go from there. I don't think it's going to let me. Well, let me redo this. I guess I'll have to play it again. Shorts are really weird on YouTube. So, all right. So let's see here. Present share screen. And don't worry, we're going to have Donald Trump talk. It's going to happen. It'll be towards the end of the show. Okay. For everybody who's dying for me to freaking have Donald Trump talk. All right.
Okay. So that means almost 1/3 of fucking men under 30 are a fucking virgin. Do you guys understand that if you go ahead and get married nowadays to a woman that's sexually experienced and you're a virgin, you're at a significant disadvantage? Right? Because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to navigate women properly, what's going to happen? You're going to get
things you should never.
But 1 in 3 men, right, that's under the age of 30, 18 to 30, is a virgin. Okay? So that means almost 1/3 of fucking men under 30 are a fucking virgin. Do you guys understand that if you go ahead and get married nowadays to a woman that's sexually experienced and you're a virgin, you're at a significant disadvantage? Right? Because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to navigate women properly, what's going to happen? You're going to get finessed, right? She's going to tell you these things, and your dumbass, oh my God, I'm in love. Oh, yeah, oh my God, she loves me for me. $200 for you know, you're going to sound like Fresh. She likes me for me, nigga.
So my dog's going crazy for some reason. So, you know, and as I've said before, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand that there's an entire population of men, okay, specifically an entire population of men that go through life, they have their heads down, they don't know where they're going, they don't know what they're doing, they don't have any idea, okay, as far as just, you know, basic concepts of things that are going on in their life. All right. These guys don't even understand, you know, what's happening sometimes. And it's very sad. It's actually, you know, quite sad because a lot of them don't even get to the point where they know how to talk to women, where they know how to, you know, even confront their bosses. I mean, okay, there are people that literally go through their entire lives. I'm talking about men and women, and, you know, up to 25, 30 years old. And some of them have never had the opportunity to date. It's more on the man side as they get older now. More women obviously can have, you know, relationships easier than men. I know that that's crazy sounding. I know that a lot of women are not going to agree with me, but look, let's just be honest here. Okay. Women are born beautiful. All right. You know, a woman doesn't have to do anything to attract a man except for just be a woman. In order for, you know, a man to attract a woman, he has to have certain aspects. He has to be able to do certain things. And a lot of the times, especially in a certain percentage of households, there's no man to even teach. There's no man to even, you know, give him advice on how to talk to women. And it's not like he's going to get advice at school, because whenever he's going to school, in most situations now, he's told that he's wrong for even being a man. He's told that he, just for the simple fact that he was born male, that he is at a complete disadvantage. All right. He's told that basically everything that he does is wrong just because of the fact that he has a penis. Think about that. I'm going to show you another clip here. And by the way, Death Pusher, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming, man. You're always welcome here, brother. Also, Death Pusher, if you missed it earlier, man, Blair's not going to be with me until the beginning of next year. He's taking care of a few things right now. He doesn't have a lot of time to come on. So if you know anyone that wants to co-host with me, let me know, bro. Anyways, all right. So let's do this next one here. I got a couple things for you guys. A lot of good stuff. And also, you know, if there are any questions about anything too, you know, because I do cover topics that a lot of people do not want to talk about. A lot of people don't want to confront. They don't want to have advice on. And most of the time, even when confronted with the truth about these topics, about these issues, they don't like the fact that they were wrong or that they were taught wrong or that things that they believe have been proven wrong. They don't like it. Even if you give them the proof as if like what I tell you guys when I tell you the facts, okay? Whether I give you a source or not, from a news source or from the Brookings Institute or from the Encyclopedia Britannica, it doesn't matter. They don't care, okay? They'll say, well, my professor or my teacher or my best friend or, my life experience. It doesn't matter. A lot of the times they don't care about how right or how wrong you are or how right or how wrong they are. Doesn't mean anything. All we can really do is ask them questions. And I'll give you guys some hints on how to talk to people that are immovable. Okay. And I'll tell you guys how I do it. It doesn't always work though. It's not 100%. Shit. I'm lucky to get 30% of people to listen to me. Lucky. Okay. Very rarely do I go into a group of left-minded people, feminist or Antifa or Black Lives Matter people, and have them ever listen to me. Most of the time it ends up in a very bad way. Okay. And all I'm doing is trying to be as peaceful as possible. Sometimes these people don't want peace. Sometimes all they really care about is just causing other people harm. That's all they care about. All right, so let's get this one open. I'm calling this one 1 and 3. Or excuse me. That one was actually, I have them backwards. That one was 1 and 3. This one is security. Okay. This is, no, it wasn't. Okay. I had now I'm backwards. That's funny. Okay, so I guess I clicked the wrong one the first time. Or maybe I have the same one here. That's not cool. It looks like I got I put the both ones on there. Okay. Sorry, guys. I wanted to show you this. Let me go back here. And I will actually go to my history. It's all about relativeness. It's funny because, you know exactly how lost I am sometimes on certain things. But I do have to say that I'm getting better. And then I do stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I didn't really know that much after all. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Okay, this is called The Sad Truth. Women Want Compromise. Now, this is about how women see men. Okay. And we're going to do a whole podcast on this later. I'm going to do a whole video. I've also got an announcement at the end of the show tonight. Don't let me forget what the announcement is because I will. But I'm doing a couple of live spots that I don't normally do. They're going to be special shows basically. And one of the ones I'm going to do is going to be based off of this because I have got a lot of questions on exactly why it's so important to me to tell people about these kinds of things. And I've also got questions. People are curious and they want to know how to be better and how to do things better. So check this out. This is really important. And a lot of people don't want to hear this, but this is just the way that it is.
Ask you guys, would you accept a man that doesn't have a future? He's comfortable where he's at. You guys all were saying no. Some of you have done it before and said, I'm not doing it again. You're doing it right now. And the relationship is in shambles. So clearly it doesn't work. I'm not being an asshole. It's the truth. And I've always said this, men lead, women follow. Women are not ever put in a position where they're going to support a man. And that's fine. It's a biological reality. Men and women are different. A man can provision for a woman long-term, but a woman cannot provision for a man long-term. And if she does do it, it's always a matter of time until she says, fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm going to go find another guy.
Now, okay. I want to be perfectly clear about this, okay? I want you guys to understand exactly what he's trying to say. I would like for you to try to see it from the perspective of the woman, men in the audience, and from the women in the audience, they're mad about this. Hold on, okay? Women want men that are better than them physically. They want men that are better than them financially. It's called hypergamy. Every female of the species across the board, save extremely rare examples like sperm whales, okay, or hyenas, all right? Very rare. You'll see it in the insect world a lot too, like praying mantises, black widows, the spider kingdom, arachnids. But let's just say 99.9% of all species in the entire world of female are hypergamous. That would not be too incorrect. You hear Bear, he's over there making his noises. Hypergamy is a natural thing for women. All it means All it means is that a woman is looking for security in her mate. Okay. And it's funny because it crosses heterosexuality with homosexuality. A lesbian will do the exact same thing to her lesbian partner. It doesn't change. Okay. So this doesn't have anything to do with sexual preference for a female. She's naturally hypergamous. Okay. Case in point. This is a question directed to all of the ladies out there. Okay. Listen up and try not to kill me with your eyes. Okay. I'm sure that there are a large amount of women that have dated men that we would consider to be losers. Okay. They couldn't keep a job, or they would squander all their money. They would drink it away or smoke it away or gamble it away. Unfortunately, we have abusers. We have men that physically or mentally abuse their women. These are men that are not wanted, okay, by a majority of women. Some women don't care. I understand that. I'm not talking about them, okay? Some women get into a relationship and they're just like marching forward. No matter what happens, we'll get counseling, whatever. What I'm saying is that you don't normally want to have that in a relationship. You would much rather be with a man that can provide for you financially. Not telling you not to work. What I'm saying is whether you're working or not, he can provide for the family financially. You want a man to be physically appealing. Okay. Now, does that mean he's got to have a six pack? No. Some chicks love rocking the dad bod on their man. Okay. It's just the way it is. I mean, look at me. Okay. I'm not exactly the most attractive man in the world. Okay. But there are women out there that find me attractive. Okay. And it's mainly because of my confidence, and it's not because of the way that I look. Think about that too, guys out there. We'll talk about that later. Okay. 3, he needs to have a future. Okay. A woman doesn't look at a dude that's working at McDonald's and say, you know what, in 10 years, I don't care if he's still flipping burgers. Okay. You might lie to yourself and tell yourself that that's okay, but that's not true. A woman wants to know that her man is producing success in his life in a way. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he doesn't have a Fortune 500 company in his future. Fine, whatever. But he's saving his money. He's good with his money. He's good with his children. Okay? He's good with his wife. He has good friends. He has a positive influence on the family. These are things that I'm talking about. Now, let's take away all that. Do you think a woman wants to be with a guy that's not a good father, that's not a good provider, doesn't have good friends? All of his friends are drunks or winos or in debt or constantly borrowing money from him. I mean, I'm giving you guys examples, real world examples of things that actually happen in relationships, negative impacts of things that are happening in relationships. Okay. It's a part of life. It's just the way it is. You're going to go through life and you're going to find disappointment. The reason why I'm showing you guys these things, it's basically for this purpose. Okay. Some of the women that I speak to that have questions about their husbands or their boyfriends, their fiancés, and they want to know how to make their relationship better. Okay. I always tell everyone the exact same thing starting off. Very first thing always is communication. Okay. I cannot stress this enough. Okay. Like, for instance, the beginning of a relationship, you need to set ground rules. Okay. This is no joke. Okay. I'm not kidding. And a lot of the times they're like, well, it sounds like a business arrangement. Well, what the fuck do you think it is? If you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone and tell them the most intimate details about yourself and about, everything in your life that's going on, well, don't you think there needs to be some form of security? Don't you think there needs to be some form of quid pro quo when it comes to a relationship? Thank you, Biden. But I cannot stress enough. I seriously cannot stress enough, okay, that you have to be able to communicate with your partner what it is that you want from a relationship. This is key. Okay, so case in point, all right, let's say you get into a relationship and there's some hangups that you just cannot deal with, right? Those hangups have to be told to your partner. Have to be. Okay, you don't need it to be like a Sunday dinner type conversation between you and your family. Okay, with your wife or your husband. Okay, that's not the way it needs to be. Seriously. Okay, you need to be able to communicate very well with whoever it is. Okay, that you're with. Okay, and I'm talking to the heterosexuals and I'm talking to the homosexuals. Doesn't matter. when you're in a relationship with someone and you want it to be successful, you have to have communication. And I'm telling you, set the ground rules when you start dating. Don't wait until after you put the ring on her finger, guys. That's not going to work. Okay? I promise you. You put a ring on your girl's finger and then you tell her about the rules after the ring's on the finger, she's going to laugh at you. You know why? Because you've already set a standard. Okay? You set a standard that it didn't matter before you put the ring on the finger. Okay? A woman is going to follow your lead in most situations. I'm not talking about the cucks and the simps, okay? I'm not talking about the side dicks. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real, legitimate relationships, living with each other, talking about kids, sharing bank accounts, making huge decisions with each other, okay? You have to be able to have these rules in place before you pop the question. Okay, because let's say you're dating for a year and a half before you even ask the question. Dude, she's already used to you or he's already used to her. Okay, they're not going to change. Why would someone marry you whenever, things are literally already set in stone that don't have to change? Think about it. Okay? Think about it. Let's move on to the next story. All right. Okay, this one's from InfoWars. Okay. This is it's a very controversial site. I always tell everyone when you're dealing with InfoWars, when you're looking at InfoWars, take it with a grain of salt. Okay. I got sent this one in my text messages today. And, I thought it was kind of funny. So I figured I would show you guys. I would let it kind of roll around in your heads. There's been a lot of talk about this kind of stuff lately. And I wanted you guys to understand that there is always going to be a certain level of conspiracy versus reality. And remember, Alex Jones might have sounded crazy 10 years ago with all of his crap. Frogs are gay, stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Okay, but a lot of the stuff that he was thinking of did come true. A lot of those crazy conspiracy theories did come true. So keep that in mind when I show you this, all right? And again, we'll let the time tell us what happened. Let's not go crazy and start believing everything that we read online, obviously. YouTube and Minecraft. Okay, so let's get the banner out of the way. Canadian government preparing to euthanize children without parental consent. Okay, now those are very, very, very bold words, okay? I again, grain of salt. Go check out the website yourself, okay? If you guys want me to, I'll pop the link in the chat, whatever. But the Canadian government is rolling out its euthanasia program to accelerate the WEF. I can't remember what WEF stands for. It's like, world something. Depopulation agenda. And is specifically targeting impressionable children to view death as a viable treatment for whatever ails them. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with what's going on in the story, let me be perfectly clear. Okay. In certain governments, not in America, okay, at least not that I've read so far, in other countries, Sweden, Scandinavia, I don't know if it's in Europe yet, but now we see it in Canada here, obviously. There have been assisted suicides for people that have certain mental problems, depression, gender dysphoria, stuff like that. The families are gathering around them and comforting them while they commit suicide, because apparently their life is worthless according to their psychologist and according to the subject, and they are just giving up. And one of the things that have been discussed pertaining to this is that a child, regardless of the age of the child, which is the most absurd thing, so that means before age of consent, okay, should be able to commit suicide whenever they want to. So the government of Canada is basically saying that they want to pass a legislation for that. So let's check it out.
The film Soylent Green was made in 1973 and set in a dystopian world in the year 2022, where the government is secretly feeding the people food made of people. And the most pleasant experience one can have is state-assisted suicide. While government-run media pushes the idea of cannibalism, government-assisted suicide is officially now a thing in 2022. Before COVID, you could always count on modern medicine to keep you alive, so long as you had the money or insurance to pay for it. But these days, the hospitals seem more likely to liquidate you. And in Canada, they will help you kill yourself, even if you don't really want to die.
Amir Farsood has applied for medically assisted dying, known as MAID. He lives in constant agony due to a back injury, but has started the process for end of life because his rooming house is up for sale and he can't find anywhere else to live that he can afford. He barely survives on Ontario disability support payments, which are just over $1,200 a month. He doesn't want to die, but being homeless is not an option.
I know in my present health condition, I wouldn't survive it anyway.
Farsood meets the criteria for MAID, physical suffering due to disability that cannot be relieved. His doctor, who knows Farsood's real reason for MAID is his fear of being homeless, signed off on the application in August. Farsood needs a second to do the same. There's a 90-day waiting period. He believes he could potentially access MAID in about a month.
I don't wish to be dead. Even with the pain, even with the meds, I still want to be here.
According to the Canadian government, they are getting several requests for suicide from children, who they refer to as mature minors. And they are seeking to amend the laws so that these children can be euthanized without their parents' consent. There are posts on social media that suggest this might be true, which shouldn't surprise anyone. The quality of life for Canadians is at an all-time low, and the motive.
So, if remember, this is a video produced. Obviously, the guy's a real guy. Okay, and how they're saying for this to be there, how they're wanting us to look at this is as if this is a viable option. So instead of giving this guy proper medical attention or helping this guy up with some kind of government assistance, his only option is to have government-assisted suicide. Now, again, we're not talking about a child here. This is an adult, obviously. But what their goal is to let it be available for anyone. For those of you that are into cartoons and anime like myself, there is a show called Futurama. Okay, and in Futurama, there was this a suicide booth. Okay, and you basically would walk inside, and if I remember correctly, you could like choose the way you wanted to die. Or something along those lines. I don't exactly remember what you had to do. I think you had to put a quarter in there or a coin in there, and then you would die. And they would vacuum out your material, whatever, and you were done. So that's pretty much what we're discussing here. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on this because I'm not. But I do have to say that this is pretty fucking scary shit. So let's get back in here. So yeah, it's weird. It's like there's no when you make the screen big, it doesn't work.
Is at an all-time low, and the motive for helping Canadians kill themselves is allegedly to save the government money.
They've saved $90 million. So, I mean, that's like 4 missiles flying to Ukraine. The government has infinite money for refugees and for, foreign aid and for, Democrat campaigns and for waging war in Ukraine, but no money to keep people alive. That's too expensive. This is the plan how they're going to save money. Sure, they're going to welcome in a couple million foreigners every year, put them on the free healthcare ticket. But average Canadians, sorry.
Have a nice
it's time
life.
to suicide. It's time for death.
It's time
After
for us to get rid of you.
6,465 individuals committed suicide with the help of MAID, medical assistance in dying, the Canadian government saved $86.9 million, about $13,000 per person. That's what an individual's life is
25
worth today
cents. Oh
in
my
Canada.
God.
The economists running Canada concluded that the savings from MAID are so far negligible, but the suicide program should continue.
I mean, bullets don't cost that much. I mean, we could really be ramping this up. Maybe you could have people pay tickets. Like maybe this is a solution. Maybe in Canada, you pay like $10,000 and you get to kill somebody.
This is the predictable outcome of big government. When unnecessary jobs are created and given to lazy idiots, then economists and bureaucrats inevitably sort everything out. And they only see us as a resource, which turned civilization into a meat factory. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
All right, now that we're done with that incredibly depressing, aspect there. Okay, so guys, I'm sorry I was watching the video. Those of you that just joined. I don't know how everybody feels about a suicide. Okay, or we can't even say that word on YouTube. This is all in Minecraft. Self-assisted life terminating actions. But a person's life is precious, and that's obviously understood. My problem that I have with it is that let's say that we're not talking about a person that suffers from massive pain. Okay, and I as a Marine, I understand the concept of you're gonna die, so you choose an honorable death. I understand that. Typically Marine infantrymen, we're not really afraid of death the way other people are. We see death differently. I can't speak for all Marines, but I can speak for the Marines that I know. And we thought of death as something that was just kind of a part of everything. So I can understand a person wanting to end their life with honor and respect and dignity, not with a tube sticking out of their dick or, a bag for their waste to come out. I totally understand this, okay? What I'm speaking of right now is like that poor girl in that country. I believe it was Scandinavia or Sweden. I can't remember, but she just committed suicide because her life was hard. In that video, there's a girl saying when she turns 18, she's gonna commit suicide. In that video, there was a girl that says, as soon as I turn 18, I'm applying for maid, which is the thing. So in Minecraft, and I don't agree with that. Okay, and let me explain myself. A person can have the right to choose to end their life when they are of age. So 18 and older, I cannot tell you what to do. If I'm your parent, you have the right to do whatever it is necessary for you to do. Okay. If you are a child and your parents are responsible parents, then I would have to say that your parents need to either invest more time in you or at least try to help you get some kind of help. All right. Like the very last option I would ever suggest to anyone, period, no matter what, would be selling your child. I mean, I'm trying to see this. I don't have children myself, so I'm trying to understand this, but how could I look at my child and say, hey, yeah, sure, babe. Yeah, whatever you want. We'll call the doc and get him over here with all the needles and we'll just end everything accordingly. I can't get that, and I can't get behind it. You want to make a decision when you're an adult, fine. Okay, when you're out of my house and you're paying your own bills, I can understand that. All right, and I feel bad for that guy, the one that was in the video. I really do. I feel bad for him. But I mean, like the guy said on InfoWars, I don't agree with a lot of stuff InfoWars says, but he's got a point. We could spend all this money on sending weapons to the Ukraine. We could spend all this money on causing unheard of shutdowns and lockdowns and producing all this other stuff, but we can't help a poor guy out because he can't pay his rent. Last time I checked, I thought that a citizen was important. Now we're going to give immigrants the right to vote with no ID. We're going to give the immigrants health care and stuff like that. Which, okay, if the government decides that's the way it's going to be, fine, whatever. We'll figure it out when it happens. But if we're going to do that, we're not going to help some poor schmuck out that's down on his luck, and the only option that he's got is to kill himself. I mean, there's got to be a line in the sand somewhere. There's got to be a person or persons, okay, that can put their foot down and say, look, guys, enough's enough. And you saw the promo for Soylent Green. If you haven't seen Soylent Green, go check it out. That was a sci-fi movie. Now it's turned into reality. Okay, they're actually telling people, hey, look, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. I mean, cannibalism is something that actually is a hot topic right now, apparently, People are talking about this. It's actually happening. Let's get on to the next story. All right. Let's see here. This one was interesting. I watched a little thing on this earlier, a little video about this. And I have to say that I've not been a big supporter of anything or any way that they've handled the January 6th issues. All right. But I did watch a couple of videos whenever January 6th first happened. And I did actually count the replicas in the crowds. They were actually showing videos of people in the crowds. Now, look, could they have been Antifa, FBI? Who fucking knows? I don't fucking know. I don't have an identifier in my brain to tell me who the fuck people are. It's not the way I work. I don't have any evidence to show me anything other. I do find it interesting that there were several guys. One of them was an FBI guy that we did find out later. He was in the FBI, but he was the only one they identified. So we do know there was one FBI guy in the crowd. And he did change outfits that we saw on camera from different pictures 3 separate times. Does that mean that there was other FBI agents implanted in there? We don't know. But check this out. This is pretty cool. At least from the perspective of, oh my God, we might actually be getting answers soon. TGP exclusive, 11 facts on dozens of federal operatives who infiltrated the Trump crowds on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol in Minecraft. Okay, so now I don't know. This is the guy that I was talking about right here. He's the one that I was saying that I saw in several different outfits. Okay, they're showing pictures back here. I guess these are supposed to be people that were dressed up. I don't know who is that supposed to be. AOC holding a flag? I don't know. I can't tell. All right. So fact number 1, the FBI infiltrated the Proud Boys and their informant exonerated the Proud Boys of any conspiracy. In July 2022, TGP contributor Cara Castronova released whistleblower documents, text messages, and audio transcripts of FBI informant James Knowles' communications with his FBI handlers on January 6th. The evidence exonerates Trump supporters and the Proud Boys of any conspiracy or planning to storm the U.S. Capitol, to enter the U.S. Capitol, or to overthrow official proceedings. Okay, so I guess that's her. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, everyone else, let's see. Here, we got a letter from Death Pusher. Hey, Death Pusher. Children bury parents, not the other way around. I know accidents happen, and sometimes a child will pass before the parents, and that is the worst thing ever. Yeah, still magnolias, bro. I mean, clown world, man. Clown world. So, again, I guess this is supposed to be Cara Castronova. She's holding the flag in the picture. I guess that's supposed to be her. I don't know. But now, these were rumors before. Now they're saying that this is true. Okay? It did not happen, as we all know, which a majority of us pretty much knew. And for those of you that don't know, there's 4 entrances to the Capitol that were happening. There was only 1 entrance that was actually having guys like break the thing. For those of you that haven't seen the videos, there are videos right now on Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube of the police officers actually letting people in with cameras. Okay. And they didn't put that on a lot of the left-wing organization channels. They didn't let everybody see that. But there were 3 sides that were letting people in. There was only 1 side where guys were breaking the windows. Now, as I've always said, and my friends, they didn't like it when I said this, but look, you can't just go to the Capitol and break in. All right. I'm sorry. But if you're breaking windows and shit, okay, to get in the Capitol, I mean, dude, you're doing something wrong. Breaking, entering is wrong. Something else, though. Okay. One dude, this is just to be over exaggerating here. I mean, well, to overemphasize how stupid the whole situation was. Let's put it that way. One decently trained police officer with 2 Glocks, rubber bullets, and a couple cans of tear gas could have stopped the whole fucking thing. Seriously. All right, I'll do you one better. Let's give him a riot gun with the two pistols with rubber bullets. I got rubber bullets in the other room. Okay, it fucking hurt. You throw a couple cans of tear gas. The guys that are crawling through the windows that supposedly had weapons. I mean, I think one dude had like a stick and the other guy had like a sap or something. Okay. Which, again, they should have been arrested. No problem. But the fact that they just like sat there and just let them all do it, that's bullshit. You're talking about the Capitol of the United States of America. They have great security. Great security. Okay, there was supposed to be over 20 people on staff that day, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, but I'm telling you, one dude with a riot gun and a couple of Glocks, rubber bullets, and a couple cans of tear gas would have shut that whole fucking thing down. Give him a gas mask so he doesn't get affected by the tear gas. I'm telling you, those motherfuckers would have stopped right where they were. All right, so think about that too. It did not happen, as we all know. Now we have the proof. All right. What is this? Trending must see picture here. That's not what we're talking about. Okay, so now that looks like a vest right there. Let's get the MAGA hat on with the vest. They all lied, and we have proof. Highly sensitive DOJ January 6 documents leaked to the Gateway Pundit. FBI. See, they're saying it's leaked. All right. So this is the Gateway Pundit website. All right. So, I mean, they're saying it's leaked. So I guess we got to take them as a viable news source. To the Gateway Pundit, FBI confidential human source infiltrated Proud Boys, ran FBI operation on January 6th, reported they were innocent. See the text documents in full. All right. So sounds pretty crazy. The FBI had evidence. Oh, this is like the what was that? The kid, the 17-year-old kid. They withheld evidence from him whenever he was doing the shootings, or whenever he defended himself. Excuse me. Let's see here. Kyle Rittenhouse. The FBI had the evidence that there was no conspiracy or plans made by the Proud Boys and others to invade or take control of the U.S. Capitol. Because remember, that's always been their stance. They were trying to invade and take control. It was supposed to be an insurrection. Okay. The FBI ignored this information from their own operative. They ran with lies about insurrection instead. Wow. Ooh, this one looks good. Fact 2. The FBI was recruiting men and women to infiltrate the crowds, works as operatives. So this guy in the beard, I'm guessing, is one of okay. Veteran and former Green Beret Jeremy Brown on the right. That's this guy right here, former Green Beret. I don't know what that pen is right there. All right. And the FBI agents who came to his home to recruit him as an operative on January 6th. No fucking way. No fucking way. Dude. I'm surprised this site hasn't been shut down. Okay. So YouTube and Minecraft. Excuse me. On Thursday afternoon, September 30th, at 3:45 p.m. Eastern, the FBI raided Jeremy Brown's home and arrested Jeremy. The charge is trespassing. The FBI sent 20 vehicles for his arrest. DHS and Pinellas County law enforcement were also present. The FBI in Jeremy's home for 5.5 hours looking for evidence. What? The FBI searched his house, RV, and trailer. Then they arrested Jeremy and took him away. Jeremy's family contacted the Gateway Pundit the next morning. Okay, guys. Okay, they're already starting. The FBI is basically just a private security force for the government. I mean, that's all they are. That's basically what they've proven themselves to be. Let's get back here and see if I missed anybody's chat. Okay. So, and remember, again, okay, you know, I witnessed them doing pretty much the same damn thing right down the street. They said some guy, the only thing they reported was that he was involved with January 6th, like 5 houses down from me. They brought like 14 or 15 cars. Bomb squad was here. The SWAT team was here. Armored vehicles were here. For one dude, he was renting a room out. That happened 5 houses down. Now, I don't know if this had anything to do with January 6th, but about, I don't know, 2 months ago, the same damn thing happened about a mile away from me on my route that I usually run. Okay. They had the police department come there with like 15 vehicles. 2 of them were armored for one dude. It's crazy what they're getting away with. And we're watching it happen and no one seems to care. That's the craziest thing about this. Okay. There's a spot for fundraising. Jeremy Brown is a Green Beret and former Republican candidate for Congress. Wow. In Florida's 14th congressional district, Brown served in the United States Army from 92 to 2012, reached the rank of Special Forces Master Sergeant. Jeremy Brown never entered the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. His actual crime was refusing to be an FBI informant, as we described below. What the fuck? That is so crazy. Not only did Jeremy refuse to work as an FBI informant on January 16th, he went public with photos and audio conversations with agents. As we reported months ago, Jeremy Brown refused to be an informant for the dirty FBI. That's what they're calling him, the dirty FBI. The DFBI, baby. They wanted him to be one of the operatives at January 6 Trump rallies. According to earlier TGP report, the FBI called Jeremy's cell phone and asked for a meeting after trying to contact him at his house. Jeremy then met the FBI agents at a restaurant in Ybor City in December. He told Brandon Gray that 38 seconds into the interview, the FBI attempted to recruit him to spy on the Oath Keepers. I guess Oath Keepers were the ones that were there. I've heard that term before. Jeremy refused to be an FBI informant, so they stormed his home and arrested him on bogus misdemeanor charges months after January 6th protest. That's what blows me away about this whole thing is they're going to have to explain themselves, right? Like if the FBI goes to someone's house and invades it and whatever, okay, they're going to have to explain why, right? They're going to have to say, hey, guys, we did this for this reason, blah, blah, blah. So do they honestly think when they bring this to court that they're going to say, hey, we invaded this guy's house for 5.5 hours and we didn't find anything on him, so we just trumped up some charges? I mean, where's the accountability? Like, the agents know they're doing this when they're wrong. This is something else that pisses me off. Like, the only person that will get punished is, like, some random dude that was supposed to be in charge of this op, right? But the guys that invade the dude's house, they know that what they're doing is wrong. They know they're invading this guy's house for no reason. They know that the op's total bullshit, but they go through it anyways. They're desensitized to justice. Fact 3, FBI wiretap friends and family members, including children, to spy on January 6 protesters. That doesn't surprise me. Fact 4, Luke Robinson armed J6 protester with earpiece dropped from FBI most wanted list. What? Do you know this person? FBI 343 number ginger gun or hashtag ginger gun. Developing Luke Robinson, aka hashtag ginger gun, was only protester filmed with a gun on January 6th. The FBI later removed him from their most wanted list, was also accused of wearing an earpiece. Okay, I don't know what the gun laws are in Washington, but for instance, in Texas, we have very, very lenient gun laws, and we're very open about our gun carry. We can't be within, I believe it's 100 yards of a federal building while carrying our gun, but it's not illegal to carry an earpiece. So Micajah Jackson is a U.S. Marine War veteran who is currently serving time in an Arizona halfway house after he was arrested and convicted of walking inside the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Micajah Jackson pleaded guilty to one charge in November, parading, demonstrating, or picketing into the Capitol building. Okay. Fact 5. At least 20 undercover FBI agents, what the fuck, and ATF operatives and 3 undercover police officers were running operations in the crowd on January 6th. That's just, wow. The FBI finally admitted in September 2021, the New York Times, that they were running informants and operatives inside. You hear this, YouTube? The FBI admitted it. Not in Minecraft anymore on that one. Just on this subject, though. Attending January 6 rallies in Washington, D.C. In fact, one of the first protesters inside the U.S. Capitol was an FBI informant. Oh, my God. That's great. There's also evidence that the U.S. Capitol Police were also running informants and operatives inside the Trump crowd, including members who entered the U.S. Capitol with protesters. So can I blow this up? There we go. Capitol Police had at least 3 officers working undercover wearing suits on January 6th. That's Capitol Police, not the FBI. If the building was closed, why? Look, right there. And a cameraman to document it all. There we go. Okay. Well, c'est la vie, I guess. But they're not going to do anything about it. They could have all the evidence in the world. It's like Hunter Biden, man. Hunter Biden could literally execute a dude in the street. And would anybody care? Would anybody punish him? No. Okay, fact 6. Ray Epps. Was Ray Epps a Fed? I can't answer that. FBI Assistant Director refuses to answer any of Ted Cruz's questions about January 6th in a fire exchange. Wow. Okay, here's that picture, the one we were talking about earlier. Meet Megan Paradise. So that woman up front was Megan Paradise. Disappearing feds from FBI list. Another January 6th infiltrator. Megan Paradise, she's holding the flag and wearing a MAGA hat. It looks like she's got like a pen in her mouth. The Ray Epps female clone caught on a megaphone directing Trump supporters to U.S. Capitol. See, I always thought that too. Because it always seemed like it was being orchestrated. There was even one of the guys in the crowd they said was an FBI informant. He was like, "Yeah, man, let's go into the Capitol. Let's break in." And another guy standing next to him. This is on camera. This is recorded on YouTube. Like, he's like, "No, dude, we're here to keep the peace." And another guy steps up and is like, "Yeah, man, dude, we're not here for that. We're here to get our message out, but we're not here to cause any harm or hurt anyone." Why is the FBI not allowed up on several violent protesters who were caught on video? Not followed up on several. Video reporter Bobby Powell on violent January 6th protester. This guy is a federal agent. I have heard nothing but crickets from the FBI on this guy. Because, apparently, according to a lot of the reports, some of the most violent people that were there were FBI agents trying to get other people to join in on the violence. Okay, fact 8. DOJ finally admits that they were running confidential human sources inside the Oath Keepers organization on January 6th. We discovered this less than a week before their sham trials in Washington, D.C., where they are already determined to be guilty as charged. Exclusive. DOJ drops a bomb, admits federal government ran informants inside the Oath Keepers on January 6th, spring this on J6 attorneys less than a week before trials. Wow. Because basically what that's going to mean is all of their charges are going to go away depending on what the charges were, because they just basically dropped on them. So they've been building this case, right? All these lawyers have been building this, wonderful cases, okay? And because they're dropping this bombshell on them now, a majority of their cases are going to go to shit. They're not going to be able to produce anything to the judge. All right. Fact number 9. Former DA agent was pressured to go inside U.S. Capitol on January 6th by an informant friend he was with. Former DA agent tells Tucker Carlson, this is on Tucker Carlson Live, there's a picture of him right there. All right, let's blow this up. Former DA agent tells Tucker Carlson FBI informant friend invited him to Capitol on January 6th. Pressured him to go inside video. Is there a video? I don't see a video. No video. Okay. Carlson explained to his audience that asking questions about what really happened on January 6th has earned him and others to be labeled conspiracy theorists and unpatriotic by propagandists in the media. As it turns out, we were right to ask those questions, and tonight we'll show you why. Carlson said he explained Mark Ibrahim, a 32-year-old Army veteran. Dude, how many veterans is that? The chick that got shot was an Air Force veteran. The Green Beret guy was approached by the FBI. The other guy was wearing a USMC shirt. Makaja was a freaking Marine, or Makaje, or whatever his name was. On January 6th of this year, he was a federal agent. He worked for Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA. Ibrahim says he went to the Capitol that day because he was invited by an FBI informant, a man he had known in Iraq. So another veteran. We had confirmed that is true. Carlson explained that they reached out to Ibrahim's FBI informant friend, and that while he denies he encouraged anyone to break the law, he did confirm Ibrahim's story. Wow. What the fuck? We may never know how many confidential human sources the government was running in the massive crowd in January 6th, or what their purposes were. We know there were dozens of operatives in the crowd. Fact 10. The FBI admitted in November 2022, that's this month, they were running at least 8 informants inside the Proud Boys in the months leading to the... More of the same bullshit. So if the number 2 in the Proud Boys was working with the FBI and the lead militia guy in the Whitmer kidnapping plot, this is Cheryl Atkinson. That name sounds familiar for some reason. I don't know why. All right. In the Whitmer kidnapping plot, was working with the FBI along with numerous agents and informants in the group. One legitimate question is, oh, it just totally made that screw. How much was the FBI driving versus investigating the plots? It's a very good question. Fortunately. Fact number 11. January 6th was an intelligence operation run by the U.S. government against the people of the United States of America. Okay, that's a pretty bold fucking claim. All right? That's got to be in Minecraft. Okay, because that's a bold claim. Let's see if they have any evidence to back that up. Okay. The Gateway Pundit is moving back to Discus. I don't see any proof here. Yeah, there's no proof. So they just make this statement. So this is a really bold statement, okay? And this is the stuff that I also tell you guys about. Look, be careful what you read and what you believe, all right? I mean, it's one thing to give statements and to give, eyewitness accounts. But look, this is a fact. They're saying fact 11, and I don't see any. Look, I'm scrolling all the way down. Where's the proof in this? Is there a page turn? I don't see a page turn. Yeah, so they're basically just saying it just so that we believe it, pretty much. Okay, so let's get back to the chat. Let's talk about this a little bit. Okay, so for lack of a better understanding, let's try to get this. Let's try to get this under wraps here. Okay, so a majority of people know that there is a lot of really shady shit going on. There's a lot of stuff happening right now in our country that people have a lot of questions about. Okay, you can barely have a conversation with anyone now without it leading to some form of political bias, some sort of race conversation, sexual orientation, LGBTQ plus type shit. Man is a woman is a man crap. What is a woman? All this bullshit, right? In Minecraft. So we as a culture, we as a people, we as a country, I know we're worried. I know we're scared. I know that it's hard. And I know that everyone is basically freaking out because they don't have any answers. Okay. And they don't understand. And they don't have the mental capacity sometimes to be able to deal with what it is that's actually going on. And I know that that's scary. And I know that that's hard to deal with. Okay. But it doesn't mean for 1 second, not 1 second, that we shouldn't be able to talk about it. Half of the time that I'm on with people or that I'm having a conversation with someone, I always hear this phrase: keep your voice down. Someone will hear you. Or it's worded differently, but it means the same exact thing. I don't want to talk politics because someone might get offended. Who gives a shit? Okay. Tim Pool has been saying some things lately that, are fire. But something that he said recently really, really struck me as odd. And I don't think he understands what he's saying, because Ben Shapiro's famous quote, facts don't care about your feelings. Okay. Completely 100% true. Tim Pool's not saying that isn't true, but what he's saying is feelings don't care about your facts. And I'm sorry, Tim, bro, but that's total bullshit. Okay. Who gives a shit about whether your feelings care about whether something is right or wrong? I can hate all day long that I will never play in the NBA. I can literally despise it and be jealous of every dude that plays NBA sports for the rest of my life. But you know what? The fact that I feel that way doesn't mean dick. Okay? I'm never going to be 6'6". I'm never going to be able to dunk. I'm never going to be able to dribble. It's not going to happen. All right? Doesn't change anything. Okay? Now I realize that that's an incredibly simplistic way to look at it, but it's still the exact same thing. Okay? The big white dude, fat guy that identifies as a 5-year-old Filipina chick. Okay? Dude, hate to break it to you there, dumbass, but you're not a 5-year-old Filipina chick. Okay? You're an ugly, fat, white dude that can't face reality. Okay? That fact doesn't give two shits about your feelings. Okay? And your feelings about you being the 5-year-old Filipina chick does not give two shits about the facts. I get that, but it doesn't fucking matter. You're still not a 5-year-old Filipina chick. Okay? And the fact that there are people supporting him in his decision to be that is fucked up. I mean, the mental problems in that alone are just insane. I found this article from the Gateway Pundit. I thought this was cool. This is pretty badass because it is a hot topic right now in America. Super hot. All right. Because apparently, if you want people to get an ID to vote, you're racist. Well, check this out, guys. I guess 500,000 people in Mexico are racist towards their own people. Who would have fucking thought? You know? I love those interviews, man. Okay. So, in the great country of Mexico, hola, stopping the steal, 500,000 Mexicans protest eliminating voter ID and election safeguards. Up to 500,000 Mexicans were out on the streets Sunday in 15 cities to protest far-left President Lopez Obrador's plan to eliminate the National Electoral Institute, INE, and state-based electoral authorities and possible such safeguards as voter ID. As a game purchase, if you like playing your PC, this old-school strategy game is a must. That looks cool as shit. I might have to check that out later. Protests are held in Mexico City, Monterrey, Guadalajara, Morelia, Querétaro, Culiacan, and Cancun. All right, Mexico Daily News. Okay, also, guys, check this out. This is how passionate they are with this. Okay? Why don't we do this? Peaceful protests around our country. Why don't we do this? Whenever, okay. Here's something. All right. Something happened in the United States nobody heard about. And I'll make another video about this later if you guys want me to. But I know it happened. I remember reading the newspaper report, and it never was on TV. I never saw a news report on the television. I had to read this online. So a 5-year-old kid's riding on his little tricycle or bicycle, and a black man walks up with a gun that suffers from a mental illness, and he kills him. It never made it to the news. Why? There was no riots in the streets. There was no groups of people walking around screaming for justice for that little boy. Never happened. Why? You can look it up right now. Type in black man with mental illness shoots 5-year-old. The kid was white. You didn't hear anybody talk about it. Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. It's so stupid. We should have people in that city demanding justice, but they never did because they were afraid to. They were afraid they're going to piss someone off. So I've always thought the whole voter ID thing is completely and utterly ridiculous. I really did think that when they were saying it originally, whenever they were talking about it, that it was bad. It was very bad. Give me 1 second, guys. My roommates are being assholes for some reason. Gotta love roommates, right? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So now I had to go get my license redone recently. And Texas is one of the more strict, I would say, we're definitely more strict. We're definitely more disciplined when it comes to voter ID. So when you go in Texas to get a renewal, doesn't matter how long or how old you are or how long you've been driving, okay? You have to bring 2 forms of ID. I mean, and it's got to be, it can't be something like, what is it called? Social Security card. You can have that. It's got to be a face ID, and it has to be, I think it has to be current too. I forget. I always bring my passport. Okay. So it's got to be like your passport or a state ID or something, but you got to have 2 forms. So half the time people show up there, you know, they don't know any better. So they don't bring a second form of ID. So they got to go home and get another form of ID. So in the state of Texas, if you're coming from out of state, they don't know that. They're trying to get a state ID. They don't have 2 forms of ID, which is crazy to me. I've always had 2 forms of ID, but I mean, even a school ID, right? Or something like that. But yeah, so whenever I heard them screaming and yelling about, oh, it's racist to expect a black person to have an ID, it's like, what? Number one, I've never met a single person in my entire life that didn't have either a state ID or a driver's license. Okay. Because you know, there's a whole bunch of people that don't like driving. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's literally a section of the population that refuse to drive because they don't like driving. They just hate it. They hate being behind the wheel of a car. They hate getting on the highway. They never took driver's ed. They never wanted to. They take the bus everywhere, take a taxi, whatever. But they have a state ID. Okay. So whenever I heard the whole controversy about the whole state ID bullshit, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this isn't a controversy, and it's not racist to ask a person to have a fucking ID. Then it was, of course, brought about the legal immigration that we've been having. That was the big one. Okay. Let's make it an issue about, hey, Super Spurg, what's up, bro? Welcome to the podcast, man. Thanks, dude. I don't know where everybody is, guys. You know, lately, I don't know what's been going on. We haven't had a lot of people watching the shows live. Normally, I have more people in the chat. I'm not exactly sure why, but hey, I'm not going to stop. I promise. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep trying to bring you guys as much of the news and as many hot topics as I possibly can. But I don't get how asking for someone to follow the rules of the state. Like if you're going to be an immigrant, right? You come in, you follow the rules, you get here legally. Okay. You're going to get an ID. Okay. If you don't have an ID, that means you didn't come here legally. And also, here's a note. Most people that don't have an ID, okay, it's not because of the simple fact that they're unintelligent or something like that. Sometimes it's bad they don't have an ID. Okay. Like there's a reason why. Like they haven't been to the circuit in a while. And it's an incredibly small percentage of the population, by the way. We're not, I'm talking about Americans. I'm not talking about immigrants, okay? Because it comes down to the immigration thing. There's not like, hundreds of thousands of freaking African-American people, black people walking around without ID. That's not a thing. That's not real, okay? The reason why they're saying it's racist is because the people crossing the border don't have ID. And right here, 500,000 of these bastards are agreeing with us that you need ID. Think about that, libtards. Yeah. Kind of took the wind out of yourselves on that one, didn't it? Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we got. I got a couple more for you guys before I get off because I'm getting hungry. Okay, so this one's funny. We're gonna do because I wanted to end the show with Trump. We're coming up to that. But this one's funny. I wanted you guys to look at this because this is amazing. It's another one from Gateway Pundit. They've kind of been the subject for tonight. But this is hopefully this makes you laugh. This is gonna be good. Because hey, we're in clown world, right? You will sit. Joe Biden caught taking list of commands from his handlers like a dog. Okay, and before we get into this, I want you to know that elderly abuse is a real thing. And I'm not one of the people that say that Joe Biden has completely lost all of his mental faculties. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell you that there is something wrong. With my limited studies of psychology and medicine, there is something wrong with Joe Biden. What it is, I've got no fucking clue, man. Again, I'm not a doctor. I couldn't diagnose him if I wanted to. Okay. But anyone with half a fucking brain can tell you that there's something wrong with Joe Biden. Okay. And I don't know if it's, amnesia or if it's some form of mental illness. I don't know. I've got no clue, but there is something wrong. Okay. How to job under pressure. All right, guys. All right. I've got 2 words for you. Okay. So, all right. So now see next page for remarks for global partnership for infrastructure and investment G20. Now, okay. In case you guys don't know, all right, every president has an itinerary that they have to go from. They're basically following a plan. That is normal. So Donald Trump, granted, he was a rule breaker, so he probably never followed him anyways. But they're always handed a piece of paper before they do every conference. That's normal. Okay. So let's see here. I'm trying to get this to blow up. Let me do it. Okay. Prime Minister. So it's on that person. I wonder what the red and black means. For leaders seated around the table. Remarks 5 minutes. Introduce you. Introduce them. Okay. So Joe Biden got caught taking a list of commands from his handlers during the G20 summit. Biden's handlers treat him like a puppy because he often wanders around and gets lost. That part is fairly accurate. You will take photos. You will, I guess because they're capitalized. Okay, I see what they're saying. You will deliver opening remarks. But that means he could read, though. I mean, look, that's not exactly the largest lettering, but it's not too small either. So he's competent enough to read. All right. You will deliver. Okay. Red is everything he's supposed to do. Black is just information for him. Biden actually caught again taking a list of commands from his handlers like a puppy. You will take a photo. Who is this? Is that Ruben? Who sent that? It's Benny Johnson. Okay. Biden is turning 80 this weekend. He's barely holding up with the grueling schedule at the G20 summit. And remember, he's not a normal 80. He's an 80-year-old that's been in politics for over 40 years, and he's now the president, arguably the most stressful job in the world, president of the United States of America. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Obama got gray hair from the time he became president to when he got out. It's no joke. Biden missed the G20 gala dinner a couple nights ago. Feeble Joe tripped up the stairs at the mangrove forest on Wednesday. Whoa. Damn. See, and this is another one they just end it. They don't even give an end speech. Okay. So, but there's no backup. We got this guy holding them, which looks like he's walking up a step. Okay, so this is another story. It's from Gary Pundit. So tread lightly on this, okay? Some of it seems a little bit like fake news because I don't see any proof that any of that happened. So again, take it with a grain of salt, okay? But we do see the paper. We do see it's in red. You will deliver opening remarks, 5 minutes, and introduce the president. Where does it say you will sit? They had the article saying you will sit. You will sit at the, is that it right there? I guess that's it. Is there a bigger one? I don't think so. Yeah, I can't. You will sit at the chamber front tables. Chamber front tables. Okay, they didn't tell him to sit. They told him where he was going to sit. See, so you got to be careful, guys. Okay, see, they're trying to make it sound like he's a dog. All right, look. I'm not saying he doesn't have mental problems. What I'm saying is again, this is Gateway Pundit. This is a right-leaning news source. You got to get news from everywhere. So I'm going to try to find another article too, see if there's anything that counteracts that, and I'll get back to you guys on that. But just be careful, okay? Because they're obviously trying to make it lean one way, okay? Don't let them put you in a fucking box, Republicans, Democrats. Don't let them do that, all right? Just because the Gateway Pundit is saying you will sit. Okay, you can look right here on the piece of paper, and it says you will sit at the chamber, front tables alongside President Widodo. Oh, God, that's a horrible name. Widodo. Jesus Christ. Okay, but it is sad that his instructions have to be that way, though, because that does mean that he has to have a certain level of instructions. I just wish they would have gone with that instead. Anyways, all right, so I got, let's see here, last one. And we'll call it a night. I want to thank everybody for being here. All right. This one is just going to be, it's a YouTube video I found. I want us to watch it. I want you to tell me what you think about it, in the chat below. I want you guys to just kind of, give me your own little thoughts on whatever, whatever it might be. Okay. On what you think. But this is one of the few reactions, because they've actually been keeping their mouth shut about a lot of things about the Trump election. Okay. This is one of the very few reactions I've caught, because remember, when Trump was doing his speech, okay, I talked about this earlier. When Trump was doing his speech, he was calm. He was collective. He didn't attack anyone. I don't think he broke stride until the very end of it, actually. Okay, I haven't watched the whole video. I need to watch the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it was different. I kept waiting for him to call someone an idiot or make fun of Hillary's red dress or call her Crooked Hillary or say Sleepy Joe. I didn't hear anything about that. It's very interesting. So check this out. When he's not getting arrested. I gotta say, I'm very surprised. I was expecting them to come after him. I was fully expecting them to belittle him. Now remember, this is after CNN has been cleaning house. Okay, they've got a new guy that owns a company or whatever. There's something going on. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you have been able to tell CNN making a change for the last couple of weeks. And look, I mean, let's just be frank about this. A couple months ago, these two guys would have just been belittling Donald Trump, and they would have very easily just called him names or made fun of his hair, called him orange man. He's got a tan, orange man bad, bad man orange, whatever. Okay, but yeah, I found that to be quite actually exceptional. Okay, so I imagine they're probably just going to keep talking about this. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys with political shit on that crap, but I do want to talk about something. Okay, now I know a lot of Republicans are very happy that Donald Trump is becoming president, and Look, I want to point something out to you guys. Something that is very near and dear to me. Okay, and that's voting. I had my own little crap happen to me in the Marine Corps when we were in Okinawa about voting for Bush. And ever since then, I've always been a very big stickler on how voting should work. With this mail-in ballot thing, all rules are off. If it ends up being the way that they've got it going now, we're never going to have another Republican president. We're never, the Republican candidates are going to have an incredibly hard time winning the Senate, winning the House. I mean, the House is even possibly still up for grabs. I mean, to think that Carrie Lake lost Arizona blows my mind. When you look at Arizona, you look at the counties, and you look at the ones that are voting red, it's just a sea of blood. There's like 3 blue counties. It's genius the way the Democrats have been doing this. You have like 2 million people in one location. Takes over. So here's what I wanted to tell you guys. Look, I'm very happy for all of you that are happy Donald Trump is back. Okay. I am looking forward to the memes. I'm looking forward to him being Donald Trump. I want lower gas prices. I want my food to go back to the way it costs. I want my construction materials to drop in price, for God's sakes. Okay. But here's something to think about, guys. We have got to explain to people, and we have got to get the word out that if you don't go out and vote, I'm talking physically go out and vote, he's not going to win. Okay? Whoever your candidate is, look at Carrie Lake in Arizona, guys. Carrie Lake is incredibly popular in Arizona. Okay? There are people right now crying because she lost. She's dumbfounded because she doesn't understand why she lost. Okay? Because she didn't even debate her counterpart. The woman that was running against her never even debated her on stage. She refused to. She said she was too busy running the campaign. Now, the fact is, if she would have debated on stage, Carrie Lake would have destroyed her. That's why. The voice of reason is gone. If you look at the United States as a whole right now, and you break it down by county, there's a map out there, okay, for this. It's a sea of red with little tiny specks of blue. One state, I think it was Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure it was Pennsylvania. Okay, where Fetter Woman won. Okay, there's not even a blue county. I'm serious. So the picture that I saw whenever he won, it was red across the board, except for some splotches of pink and Independence. Okay. And Fetterman still won. Now, granted, it was Dr. Oz. I never agreed with them going with Dr. Oz. I thought he was a horrible candidate. He's a TV personality, okay? He was, I don't know why he got endorsed, but maybe if it was another candidate, it might have been different. But you can definitely bet that the reason why Fetterman won and Carrie Lake lost is because of mail-in ballots. Let me put it another way, okay? I'm going to steal Tim Pool's line. All right, this is one of the reasons why he's on fire lately. Okay, let's say you're taking your kids out to dinner. It's Olive Garden, guys. Let's go to Olive Garden, even though Olive Garden sucks. But before we go, I need you guys to fill out this paperwork. Knocking on people's doors. Hey, have you voted? Here, just check this box here, fill your name out, and I'll turn it in for you. No big deal. Dude, that's what they're doing. Okay, when you have 2 to 6 million people living in an incredibly small space, and you've got like 500 people walking out banging on 5,000 doors a day, and they're handing out these mail-in ballots and having them pencil fuck that shit blue, guess what's going to happen, guys? That's why I guarantee you. Check this out. Let's say we had corresponding people in New York City. Okay. Here's a challenge, New Yorkers. Any New Yorkers that ever watch this, which you probably never will. Because God forbid, my message gets out there because I'm a white cis male, part of the patriarchy, and I'm sexist and a racist. I love that shit. All right, New Yorkers, I got a challenge for you. Okay, you Republican New Yorkers, just start banging on fucking doors. Go door to door with those ballots. Okay, go door to door. make New York red. Because I guarantee you, if everyone played the Blues game, because they're beating you, but see, the thing is you're not playing their game. You're not even showing up to the fucking table. They're playing by themselves and they're beating you every single time because they're doing the mail-in ballot thing. They're saying, "Hey, look, I know you don't want to go to vote, right? You don't want to walk in to vote. You don't want to go." So after they rang the doorbell, knocks on the door, they're like, "Hey, here, tell you what, just fill this out. We'll put it in your mailbox right now. No big deal. You're done. Mail-in ballots." That's what's getting him. That's why Trump didn't want him. Okay, Trump might have done a lot of bad things when he was president, but he did even more good things. And one of the things that he did, you did see him though in that video. He was impeached twice. He was impeached in the freaking House, man. He never got passed. He didn't lose his presidency. Okay, so that always pisses me off, man. It's like, look, why don't you focus on the shit that Donald Trump was an asshole about? Don't say shit that didn't fucking happen. Donald Trump was not impeached. He didn't lose his presidency, guys. He was impeached on a different perspective to get set to impeach, and then it was shit on. Okay? Never passed because it's not gonna. Anyways, so if you want people to understand what's going on, you got to talk. You got to stop being afraid of telling people what's real. You got to stop being afraid of people canceling you. Dude, if someone cancels you, give them the middle fucking finger. Who cares? Seriously. You know, before the internet, there was this crazy thing. Okay, excuse me, not before the internet. Before social media, there was this crazy thing called fucking honor and integrity. Okay? A man's word and a woman's word meant something. What happened to that shit? Some keyboard fucking warrior tells you he's going to cancel you. Tell him to go fuck himself. Okay? Or her. Seriously. I'm not joking. Do it. You know why? Because they're not going to know what the fuck to do. They're going to be like, but I said you're canceled. That's what's going to happen. Okay? Their brain's just going to fucking shut down. They're going to be like, oh my God, I don't have any control over this guy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And if someone tells you to apologize for being honest or speaking your mind, tell them no, go fuck yourself too. If you can't deal with it, get thicker fucking skin. Dude, I get told all the time things about me that are bad. Okay? I don't live in a perfect fucking world. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a conversation with a fucking company. They're probably going to tell me to go fuck myself for some reason or another. I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to pick myself up and move the fuck on. It's a part of life, man. Okay? What did I say the other day? Okay? Life ain't fucking fair. It's not. It's not fair. Okay? Okay, we weren't born with a set of rules that says life's going to be fun and, oh, you're going to end up with this perfect guy and you're going to end up with a chick with a heart-shaped ass. That's not the way it works, man. Dude, we're lucky to make it to 40. Seriously. Consider yourself a part of the lucky few when you make it past the age of 40. Because a lot of people die before getting to 40. Look up the stats. It's fucking crazy. All right? So I'm going to head out of here, guys. I'm going to go eat. I'm hungry. I'm starving. And let you guys know, I didn't forget. Okay, I didn't forget. Look, I'm going to make some live shows. I'm going to do some live stuff. Accused, I simply say, and that's good. That's good. Death's got a point. You know, yeah, dude, you're right, Death. You're right, man. You ain't fucking around. Death, thanks for sticking around for the whole show, man. I appreciate that. I really do, bro. But you're right, man. Just say and. I mean, dude, it is what it is, you know. Okay, so I've got this cool idea. All right. I'm gonna do a live spot on basically it's like an anthology of horror movies. Okay. I love horror. All right. My favorite games are survival horror games, and my favorite types of movies are horror movies. I like old horror movies, not a lot of the new shit because it's so woke and so PC. I saw Smile recently. I saw The House of Darkness. I saw The Barbarian. I watched another one today. I'm going to keep it as a surprise. It's going to be one of the gems of it. But thank you. I really appreciate that, man. I mean, I don't know dude, sometimes we have like 13 people here. I don't know what's been going on lately, bro. maybe people just are busy doing this stuff. And man, I really wish we had more guys, more commentary, people having conversations in the chat. That's what really, drives the show. It's not me up here sounding like a dumbass all the time. But so what I was going to do is this. All right. I think it's a good idea. I want to show the difference between the old good horror movies and some of the good horror movies from our time, that we've had. And I want to go over the difference between, what's woke and what's not woke, and what is ruining today's horror movies and what's not ruining because okay, look, Jason Voorhees wasn't amazing because he had great lines. Jason Voorhees is an absolutely amazing character, and he never once uttered a fucking word. Okay? Ever. Michael Myers. I think Michael Myers did say one word in the first movie. I can't remember. I have to go back and rewatch it again. Michael Myers, the silent stalker, man. Dude, creators, what's going on, bro? Man, you're coming towards the end of the show, dude. I'm sorry you missed it, but hope you watch the full thing later. We went over a lot of stuff tonight. Hopefully we made a lot of people mad. Tubi horror movies? What's Tubi horror movies, bro? I don't know what those are. Never heard of them. Hey, what's up? Okay, you guys are awesome. Okay, so but I was thinking about it, and because the way it works now, like for instance, I'm going to do some series too. There's a series that just came out recently, and it's called Urban Legends. And I was like, oh, cool. All right. I would love to watch Urban Legends. Oh, you were streaming, bro? Cool, man. Dude, I got to go back and check you out whenever you're done. Tubi is free movie and TV app. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of it. So it's kind of like what? Like a Hulu, sort of in a way? That's a website where you can watch from. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah. All right. So I was watching it, and I had to pay for it. Obviously, I had to pay for the series. Okay, the series that I'm talking about. And guys, I'm not kidding you. Every single episode, there's 3 episodes in it. Every single freaking episode was, let's just basically have women power and let's just kill all the men in the show. That was every episode. Seriously. And the dudes in it were either incompetent or worthless, cucks, simps, weak. I'm not kidding you. One of the dudes in the episodes, okay, is literally wearing like a pink shirt, acting like a bitch for half the episode. Not making it up. Seriously. Okay, and this is just, it's what always happens. It's the same shit every single fucking time. So, and you talk about how, or you hear them say, well, we need proper representation of women. Dude, one, I just watched a movie today, and like I said, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to save it as a gem for this anthology thing I'm going to do. But, dude, like every Jason movie except for one, okay, this is why people don't remember about Jason and about Michael Myers, apparently. But it was always a scream queen that killed the monster. Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. Halloween. All 3 of those movies in the series, except for one of the Jason movies, had a female killing the main character, the main protagonist. Every single time. Fuck, dude. In one of the Jason movies, she splits his head with an axe, hangs him, and then fills his stomach with rocks and drops him in the fucking water. Yeah, I guess that wasn't a strong enough female, right? See, let's make no mistake here. Strong female today means you got to become a dude. That's what strong female means now. Okay, because apparently the strong females from our past in the 80s, that's not a strong female. That's a part of the rape culture. Oh, grape culture in Minecraft. I saved myself. This is free. And there's some classic movies. Yeah. Dude, classic movies are my favorite, man. Seriously. It's like anime. I like old anime. Okay. I don't like the new anime. I don't like the small waist, big boob chicks with the subtext of sexual orientation, or the chicks walking around with their ass hanging out wearing short skirts. And it's always like this older, big triple D freaking boob teacher with a young 15-year-old kid and all the sexual attention. I don't like that shit. That shit's horrible. But that's what I'm going to do. So that's one of my ideas. And I got a couple things coming up too that I'm going to try to give you guys. I'm also thinking about doing like a weekly giveaway or a monthly giveaway for people that need it. Like I was thinking about doing some kind of, people getting stories or emailing me stories for people that are really needing help, especially as my busy season comes up. I would love to reach out and I'd love to help people if I could. So I got a couple ideas running around. I'm trying to get this show off the ground. I'm trying to do something really serious here to try to help as many people as I can. There is a gun show this weekend. All right, guys, it is in the mid-cities, and I'm going to go. I will be attempting to do some interviews while I'm there. It's probably going to be really rough, all right? But, hey, it could be fun. I know some people there, so I'm hoping to get some good questions and get some good answers from people. I'm going to ask questions like, what is a woman? I'm going to ask questions like, how do we feel about Joe Biden? How do we feel about Donald Trump, and everything. Yeah, Iki. Yeah, dude, I don't even know what the fuck they call it, man. But one of the best animes I've seen in the last 5 years is Parasite. Okay, if you guys haven't seen Parasite, dude, stop what you're doing, go watch fucking Parasite. That is an amazing anime. All right, it's probably one of the best animes I've ever seen. Hashtag 2A. Help me out, bro. Am I not hip? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. So I guess I'm not hip. But I'm gonna be talking to a couple guys that are doing because you guys know I'm a gun nut. Okay. I'm a bullet hound, so I like certain types of bullets that do certain things for my weapons, and a lot of the dealers over there, they know me, the bullet guys. I'm usually looking for specialty ammo, stuff like that. So I'm going to be interviewing people there, talking to them, those that gave me permission, eating my favorite nuts with the cool cinnamon and sugar on them and everything. So, but yeah, guys, that's it. Second Amendment. Yes. All right. I've never seen it put as hashtag 2A though. Never seen it that way, but yeah, always, man. I believe, and this is the Marine in me. Okay, let's be fair. This is the trainer Marine Corps infantryman in me. I believe everybody should be armed. Okay, I don't care if it's a knife or a gun. In Texas, you can carry a sword on you now. Okay, but yeah, I believe everybody should be armed. And if it was up to me, I would make it a part of your education. Like it would be a different, not in your school, but like when you reach a certain age, I would have people being trained on gun safety. That would be something that I would make children do. Like starting at 14, we would choose for those people that pass the psych test in school, I would have them go take gun safety courses. That's exactly what I'd have them do. I think a properly armed country keeps the government in check. I firmly believe that. And this is coming from a Marine. I was the government. So let's see here. I know the good anime show. Some new anime is good, but it's like, yeah, dude, it's not even close, bro. Like, not even close. Okay, look, I'm serious. You can literally, save some exceptions, but it's going to have 7 half-naked chicks that sound like boobs popping around everywhere, almost naked, almost having sex. And there's going to be 1 or 2 dudes, and all the chicks are going to like the dudes. There was the one, though, because, Netflix is super woke now. So they made this one on Netflix, though, recently. It was like this lesbian vampire show. I'm not kidding you. And it was like young lesbians. So they're 5 foot. And, of course, she kills all the men in the show. It was ridiculous. So most new anime, 70% CGI. Yeah, I've noticed that, too. I did watch the Castlevania one. That one was pretty good. That Castlevania one was good. It was 3 parts on Netflix. I'm always surprised whenever Netflix makes something that's not woke, because everything they do is woke. That's why I got rid of my Disney membership, because Disney Plus is just total woke, and they ruined Mandalorian. But anyways, guys, okay, I'm going to get out of here, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, of course, creators, dude. Hey, creators, man, next time you're having a live show, man, I would love to come on and talk with you, bro. And, of course, if you want to come on any time when I'm doing a live spot, man, you let me know. and you'll love to come on my panel. Us shoot the shit, try to entertain these people as much as we can. And guys, have a good night. He got another message in here. The EQ Perv anime, they're different. Yeah, it's dude, I'm telling you, they're making it for a certain crowd. But remember, there are dudes that spend $30,000 a year on the same chick on OnlyFans. Same chick. Literally. So, I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. Anyways. All right, guys. Be cool. Be safe. As always, I'll end it with my message to everyone. Remember, it's up to us to help people. No one's going to help anyone if everyone walks around with their head in the sand. Okay? It's up to us as a nation and as human beings to reach out whenever someone needs help. Look, if it looks like someone's having a really shitty fucking day, shoot your shot, man. What's the worst that happens? They yell at you? You're a man or you're a woman. You're a grown fucking human being. You can deal with it. But chances are they're not. Chances are a person walking around mad all day long is just waiting for a person to give a fuck. Okay? Don't turn your back on humanity, you know? Too many people already have. Okay? Be safe out there, guys. All right? And do good things. They're mainly anime you don't know about. I saw the chainsaw, man, dude, but it's going to be kind of hard for me to get involved in a show with a guy that has a chainsaw for a head. Just, I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runner. I did. I thought it was decently done. I thought it was very depressing, obviously, because of what happened, but it was actually decently done. But gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. With that, I'm out.